social skills are getting more and more important, because the AI will take away this boring routine tasks. You know, you come to the office in the morning, you have to skip through this report, and all these small tasks you're doing, they should be taken over by AI. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of them. So we can focus on to upscale ourselves, to think about more complex problem. Maybe even in Europe, we start to invent new financial products.
AI isn't the future, it's now. And whether you're in HR, sales, operations, or leadership, the choices you make today will determine whether you thrive or get left behind.
Today, we are joined by Jürgen Richter, a senior data and intelligent automation expert working at the center of the European banking and regulation. Jürgen brings a rare practitioner's view of AI, where risk, regulation, and real-world implementation collide. Now, y'all, we are going to be talking about what AI adoption actually looks like inside highly conservative, highly regulated systems. So I'm super excited about that, and what leaders everywhere can learn from it. Jürgen, welcome to the podcast. How are you today?
Hi, guys. I'm great. Thank you. It's so nice to meet you today, and I'm so happy that we can talk to each other. It's an amazing opportunity. So let's get this party started.
Let's get the party started. And let's also set the stage, right? This is a global conversation we're having. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Austria, Vienna, so in the heart of Europe. So
I love it.
Well, the weather conditions are a bit tough. It's snowy. It's a bit freezing cold, but we'll survive.
Hey, look, AI VOV going global. But Jürgen, I'd love to kick it off because you have spent 25 years in European banking, and I'm just interested to know from your perspective, how different is the AI conversation from Europe to the US?
Oh, yes. How time flies. It's amazing. 25 years of professional career. This is, I don't know. I don't want to even think back. So, you know, I like to think about this like Mark Zuckerberg always did it, this move fast and break things. In America, you think about the business, you think about the leadership, you develop markets. This is all about. And in Europe, we are more worried about the risk, what could happen with a new technology, where are the risks. So we are always a bit more cautious. So this is, I think, what I would say the main difference of this story. But you know, my bright side is I'm reading a lot of articles from all these engineers who develop maybe a specific model or whatever, who are working in the industry. And so much brain power is coming from Europe. So I'm very proud of this part. But, you know, you see it and you're a little bit sad because all of them, they are moving to the US, they're moving to the Silicon Valley, and they're starting their own business, joining a company. And it's like, why can't we keep them? So this is sometimes the question which is bothering me a little bit.
Yeah, well, moving fast isn't always the best thing to do. And I mean, you've said Europe is a little bit more risk averse, and I would agree. But how does that mindset either, you know, slow down and maybe protect AI adoption?
Well, yeah, this is the point I made more or less, that I feel like this slow adoption and that we are falling behind and that we are not on the forefront developing thing. I'm a bit worried that it locks Europe a little bit in this follower position, and we are not fulfilling our potential. This is my concern here.
I see. That's fair.
Potential is there.
You know, one of the things that I've seen and I've heard people talk about, though, is true that Europe a lot of times are fast followers. But one thing I was listening to some folks talk about is the adoption seems to be more clean or smooth or kind of well run, because once the European, nations realize, like, all right, this is the thing that we're going to do, everybody moves together faster. So
and they do it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think the actual terminology, Jürgen was using like kind words. It's move fast and break shit is basically what people will say. But the other thing I was going to say is, like, we're in Raleigh, North Carolina, and even we get frustrated when people say you have to go to Silicon Valley to start a company. Like, why not here?
Yeah.
Right? So, but I am seeing some folks on the app layer side that are building out of Europe and staying out of there, and that's been pretty cool to just see. But you're right, a lot of people are starting to move over to the San Francisco area, even from all over the globe.
Yeah. So, Jürgen, you actually completed a MIT AI program, and I'm interested to know, you're in banking. So what prompted that pivot for you in your own career?
Oh, of course, this is a very personal question, and it gave me a lot of thought in the past how to move on and how to think about my own future. And I was thinking like that since we are so heavily regulated, I more and more appreciated, let's say, the IT side, the technology, the innovation side of the banking. And what should I say? I just fell in love with the technology. I feel like I'm 25 again, and we have something new to play. And it's just an amazing time. And I thought, like, same here. The US company, the US universities, your Ivy League universities, they are top notch, no discussion. They think about what the market needs. And I thought, like, MIT has a very strong engineering background. Let's try one of these programs and see where this is going. And I just wanted to join a network of like-minded people to have amazing discussion and to increase my network and to, you get this. Sometimes I think it's good to get out of your bias. If you have to move out of your peer group sometimes to get a different view, to get a different perspective, and to get a different angle to think about things. And this is what I was hoping that this MIT program is going to provide for me. And what should I say? It more than over-delivered. I think it was Professor Westerman. He showed us a video with Greg. And Greg was talking about, I completed so many courses and education programs this week because so much is happening and I love it so much. And I looked at Greg in this video and I thought, like, this is so inspiring and I just would like to continue learn more. And I think I connected then with Greg on LinkedIn and
here we are.
And here we are, exactly. And here we are, and I just like it.
Oh my gosh, I love that. So talk to me about this because you're helping teams redesign process and eliminate errors.
Yeah.
Where do most AI initiatives fail before they even start?
This is also for me a little bit of a mindset problem. The managers usually still think about CapEx and OpEx. And then, you present you make your pitch. You are telling them, we have this problem here and now we have AI, we have machine learning, we could do this, we could do that. But maybe, maybe it's not perfect. You won't make a profit in the first 2 years, but we have to learn, we have to develop, we have to iterate, we have to make these systems mature, scale them later on, and also educate the people. But they do not buy into this that we have to develop. And I thought about this. I checked a few financial reports of European and American banks. And what the difference I found, or in my opinion, in America, you usually have an R&D budget. We do not have an R&D budget. This is not in our mind that we should research and develop. And maybe the best proof is what financial products, who invented them, and where were they developed. And I think all of them, if it's a CDS, is it securitization, you in America thought about what does the client need, how can we better serve the client, how can we better structure the market. And this is what you do. You invent products and you develop markets, and we don't do this. And I think this is also with AI more or less the same. The mindset is not there, that we have to learn, we have to invest research, development to move things forward. I think this is missing in Europe a bit.
I know one of the questions that I was thinking about is there's this belief in Europe that if it's not perfect, we're not going to touch it. Yeah. And I think that's very dangerous in this AI-driven world, but I'd love to hear your perspective.
Yeah, I think, I think about our big neighbor, Germany. This perfectionism, it's usually what you are connecting with the Germans. Maybe you think about accounting. We don't finalize the accounting. We don't finalize the balance sheet when not every position is perfect. It takes a bit longer, but until then it's pure chaos and nobody's happy. So this is also, I guess, very much into our culture. It has to be perfect. And maybe, then the neighbor has to use it, and then you start to think about it, but not earlier. And this is, of course, this falling behind and not being the leader, being the follower, being the one who is adopting. This is, I think, goes in the same direction here.
Yeah, I think that this is probably one of the most challenging things to get people to change their mental models is the fact that AI, by the nature of generative AI, it is probabilistic and not deterministic. And that is really holding people up, because how do you define perfect in a world where you're not going to get the same output no matter if it's the same input 10 times in a row? And that is a challenge for a lot of even like hardcore engineers, right? You think about this, many engineers develop this and data scientists, but the engineers are used to a very deterministic world. And so you then add into what you're saying from kind of the European side of things as well. And we just have this higher threshold for the technology, right? The technology, like the human can be wrong 25% of the time. But if the technology is wrong 3% of the time, then we got a problem with that, right? And that's holding a lot of people back, not just in Europe, but in general.
But you know what I think is so interesting is, we talk about engineers really struggling with this probabilistic versus deterministic, but as an HR professional, I thrive in it because no one person is the same. So I'm like, a new output every time? Great. That's exactly what I'm used to.
Yeah.
100%. Oh my gosh. All right, let's talk about AI pilots, right? Because there's this stat out there that shows that up to 95% of AI pilots fail. And I'll tell you, number one, that makes me real nervous because I don't understand why that percentage is so high. Like, what are we getting wrong? And so what I want to know from your perspective, Jürgen, is what are organizations getting wrong about these AI pilots? It doesn't seem like it should be that challenging.
Yeah, maybe it's what I'm concerned, the topics I'm concerned with lately. And I think about it from a process perspective. You have your process, and most of the process, people are taking over a process. They don't even think about what is this about. They just press the button here, press the button there, moving things from the input side to the output side. And they don't even think about clearly, what actually do I do? What do I need? So I think a lot of problems are coming from that we are putting the AI on processes which are still crappy, instead of, because AI functions as an amplifier. If the process is still bad, it amplifies the bad outcome. It doesn't help so much. So I think here, this is the source for a lot of disappointment. Instead of fixing the process first, I like to say, we optimize, then we automate, and then we move on to AI to completely make it, put it into an autonomous system. But if you don't fix the foundation first, the outcome won't improve so much.
Yeah. But see, this is where Europe could be getting it right? When we talk about move fast and break things, if your process is shit, it's going to break. Absolutely. And Europe seems to be a little bit more methodical, taking the time at making sure the data that we're putting in, the SOPs, those are all good. And then they're going to get a better output. And it makes me wonder, is it the tortoise and the hare?
I don't
right? Are you familiar with the tortoise and the hare analogy?
I'm sorry. No, I'm not.
So it's a nursery rhyme kind of thing, or a metaphor. I don't know what you want to say, but like if a tortoise and a hare start the race.
A hare, like a bunny, a rabbit.
A bunny. Yeah. Most people are going to put their money on the bunny because the bunny's going to be faster, but the tortoise makes those slow, consistent steps forward. And it really just emphasizes that slow, consistent movement forward is a lot better than these short bunny sprints that we get. And so the tortoise wins the race.
Yeah, I think the trade-off, it's the old, you got to slow down to speed up, kind of mindset. But there's a couple of different challenges too, though. There's the reality that everything in this space on the AI side is moving exponentially faster than any technology advancements in the past, right? So if you're not experimenting, right, and to Jürgen's point, right, like I always say, people, process, and platform in that order always. It's the thing I've been saying for the last 15 years. You have to start with the people and upskill them, understand the skills gap and things. Then you have to refine the process because you're 100% correct. You cannot have a 10-step process and then just try to bolt AI on at step 11. You should be reimagining what the organization looks like, reimagining the processes, et cetera. But you also have to experiment. Like I would argue that, one, the 95% failure rate, partly is because if you read through the actual MIT study. They talk about one is too much, not enough emphasis on back end and process like related things that you should be trying, experimenting with. The other part is that they also call out is, for whatever reason, the most, the most challenging technology in humanity, a bunch of internal people decide that they should just be building their own all the time.
Yeah.
There's like, why wouldn't you buy something off the shelf from the people that have invested billions of dollars over the last 5 years to build these things? So they call these points out, and they're basically saying, stop doing it yourself, get your people trained, start internally, right, with some of these things, but then also look at the process, to your point, to Jürgen's point there. So there's a lot of reasons. And the other thing I would just argue is that a lot of digital transformation fails at an 80 to 90% rate. Like, that's just reality. Like, people don't want to change.
I want to win.
See, that's a very U.S. like America. She said, "I want to win." Right?
I want to win.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. Let's talk about the forgiveness continuum. That one got stuck there. The forgiveness continuum. Can you tell me, Jürgen, what is it and why does starting internally rather than with the customers matter so much?
Well, it's for me, a lot of coworkers can be difficult, but usually they're giving you the honest truth if they're not happy with the product you're providing to them. So I would say, internally, you get your feedback, you get your criticism, but you continue learning, you make it better, you improve depending on your, let's say, capabilities. But you cannot put this on the client first, I would say. It could be too damaging. It's damaging your brand reputation. It's reflecting immediately on the company, on your own work. So this is too difficult, too dangerous. And, especially in banking, trust is everything. If we as a bank, if we lose trust, what's happening. You have a bank run in the worst case, clients are leaving. You cannot do this. So in this regard, experiment with your colleagues internally first, see where this is going, and get the feedback, even if it's tough. And you have to swallow a few things, but you cannot put it on the clients first. With the clients, I think we are very sensitive. Of course, we are thinking a lot what our clients needs, but my thinking is first, how can I help internally my colleagues so that they can better serve the client? But, let's test, and first we keep the human in the loop. It's always there. We don't let the machine do all the trick. So it's a very personal business, banking. It's trust, your personal relationship with your client manager. This is super important, and we won't let it go, I think, so easily.
Yeah, I always tell people. No, go ahead. Finish up.
In this regard, maybe I'm really super European. We have to make this perfect first before we put it on the client. Of course, and this is what we said before. If you have to be aware, if the system is providing you just probabilities when you never know exactly what you get, you really have to think about it. Can you put it on someone like a client, or is this not possible? So it definitely has to be handled with care, and you have to give it a thought how to manage it. Yeah.
I always tell people that there are certain areas that you just cannot get it wrong, right? Healthcare and people's money. Yeah. And so in the banking world, that's extremely important. But I would love to hear from you, because I don't think that people recognize that AI is so infused in a lot of these industries already, right? Fraud detection, for example, is AI. Yeah. So can you maybe share what are some other forms of AI that maybe your average person might not recognize that as actual artificial intelligence?
A good point. Currently I'm working a little bit closer with my private banking colleagues, and all I think is about personalization. How can I help my colleagues to really to get the report faster, to make it tailor-made for the client's needs? So this is my thinking. And I even, we discussed, what does this mean? Because in private banking, sometimes you have generations with wealth. A grandpa is passing on to the grandchildren. So you may serve 3 up to 4 generations. And we had these conversations. What does it mean? Can we be transparent that this is also an AI enhanced product? Are they going to accept it? And of course, the thinking is we may be more careful with the older clients. They may be a little bit, no, I don't want to talk to a machine. I don't want to have the output from a machine. I like my manager. I would like to talk to him. I would like to hear his opinion. But exactly what you said, in the back, a lot of other things are happening. And this is what we are currently doing, building in the back this whole infrastructure to support these managers to better serve the clients. I'm curious. I ask about a bit of feedback. What are the clients telling you? Are they actively asking for, like, is this an AI enhanced recommendation what you're giving me, or who came up with it? I think it's super interesting also to get this client side to get a feeling on their thoughts, on their fears. Or maybe also the younger generation may come to their opinion, why are you still doing this personally? Let it be done by the machine. It goes faster. It's more efficient. All the algorithms screening the market. Let me have this. So I'm curious also to get more input from the client side.
Yeah, I think that is a challenge, right? Having that multi-generational kind of all within the same conversation, because you're right. You're going to have different kind of tastes, and you brought this up already. It's like we're in this trust deficit, right? And you guys within that banking industry, as Erica said, healthcare and banking, right? There's nothing more personal. And I think that when you're having to balance that out, there's a lot of folks that have been talking about hyper-personalization at scale for the last 10 or 15 years, right? We used to be in the Adobe ecosystem. They talked about that. And I think really what people were talking about was micro-segmentation versus kind of one-to-one. But now I think with the beauty of AI is it comes in so many different forms. You can actually do both or do all, right? You can have a more personal human to human with an older generation if that's what they choose. But then if someone wants the more AI enhanced or back, you can do it all. It used to be technology was so heavy and it took so long, you had to basically make a binary choice. Yep. Are we going to do human to human only, or are we going to do machine only? So I do think there's a greater flexibility, at least, to have a more personalized conversation.
Yeah.
One of the things I was thinking about when you were talking about the different generations and all of that is there is that fear that AI is going to replace the human advisory roles. And, you start to see it happening more and more. How do you address that fear while still pushing transformation forward?
Well, I gave it a thought yesterday, to be honest. And, what is it about? I'm thinking like all these technologies and ideas humanity ever had. It never replaced us. It just enhances us. It moves us forward. But we are never getting replaced. So I'm just not worried. We have computers everywhere now. I don't know, 30, 40 years ago, maybe there was a few people were afraid that the computer is making us obsolete. It's just not happening. We're just inventing more things to move us forward as a civilization. So for me, it's just, where should we stop inventing things? Because nature gave us this amazing thing that we are very inventive. We think about new solution, and this is what we do as a species, I think, and this is what moves us forward. And I just love it. So for me, with a positive mindset, I'm just not afraid. I'm just excited to have something new to play with.
They call that evolution, right? Yeah. Like we are just out here evolving. But Jürgen, looking forward, how do you see roles in banking evolving? Because we've already said we're not going to be replaced. So how is AI going to become embedded in this banking industry? And just what's your opinion on that?
In this regard, I think that social skills are getting more and more important, because the AI will take away this boring routine tasks. You come to the office in the morning, you have to skip through this report, and all these small tasks you're doing, they should be taken over by AI. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of them. So we can focus on to upscale ourselves, to think about more complex problem. Maybe even in Europe, we start to invent new financial products again. So it should free up time that we are moving up more or less the quality chain of tasks we are doing, and let the machine do all these routine works. And as I said in the beginning, I think just this is your social skills or the demand for good social skills will increase, because then it's more about what's left is it's human. And the machines are doing the routine task, and we are focused on the more important tasks. And I think this will be the case for a lot of industries. So also here, I just see it very relaxed. You go with the flow, you embrace it, you think how can you make your life, your personal life, your professional life better, and go with it. And as we talked about it earlier, this is one of the reasons I thought, like, let's join one of these MIT programs and hear what they are saying about. And I just loved it.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, that whole point, right? Like, that's the thing that people like, because you and I took that MIT course. What people don't really understand is whether it's MIT, Harvard, Stanford, one of the things that people keep coming back to, the folks that are teaching these courses, is that interpersonal, those types of skills are more important than ever. And they all will say it's either a Renaissance period or more generalist. And so, when people hear MIT, they think engineering, but one of the things they just kept hitting home is the things that make you human are the things that AI won't replace. It will help you. And I just wish more people actually understood what was coming out of these courses. It's not like we go take these courses and we become data scientists and we're going to go build our own models. No, this is about how do you lead through these challenging times. And I think, Eric and I talk about this all the time. It's just there's a mental mindset, right? When I first met Jürgen and we had a conversation, I could just tell he just was thrilled to have these tools.
Yeah.
Like, he's been 25 years in the game, but he has all these tools now that he can be more strategic. If more people actually understood that, right, and embraced what you could do with it. And I think that's the thing. Well, we want to keep hearing from folks like yourself all over the globe that are embracing this, even if they have decades of experience already.
Yeah.
You're keeping that curious mindset.
Yeah, honestly, I just feel like I'm 25 years again and I'm a small startup. I just love it. It's just exciting times for me.
I love that. Jürgen, what's your favorite AI to play with? Is it ChatGPT? What is it?
Oh my gosh. To be honest, I don't care. I like them all. If I have a specific problem, sometimes I'm doing my research, which of these tools are serving me best, be it coding or research for more like academic research. I try to work with all of them. I'm not fixed with one of these tools. Of course, I think the only tool installed on my notebook is the Microsoft Copilot. So maybe by design, because it's there in the app, I use it a little bit more often. But otherwise, I use them all. I don't mind. And sometimes, I'm watching a YouTube video lately from Andrew Ngu, the Stanford professor, and he recommended Claude. He said, I guess all of you are using Claude for coding. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm not using Claude for coding. I have to use Claude for coding. So I tried out Claude and I was happy. So I go with the flow also here. Whatever is there, I love them all.
I was listening to a podcast this morning coming in, and they were talking about Anthropic just got another big, so the owners of Claude just got another big fundraising round, and they're debating on whether this is going to be the last fundraising round before the IPO later this year. And they were having a conversation about, and they were using this terminology of how promiscuous are people with their AI, meaning how likely are they to switch and go back and forth. And they were having a very serious debate about this. And then one guy was like, oh, well, I just stick with ChatGPT. But the other two guests or hosts on there were saying, I use Gemini for this thing. I use Claude for that thing. I use this. And I think that's going to be one of the challenging things to see how it plays out. Because I always tell folks they all will net down within about 5% of the same capabilities. And so I use I don't know how many tools at this point, but I do find I'll use Claude for this thing, and then Claude just dropped this Claude coworker. So basically for non-technical people, you basically get the abilities of some of the things that you get in Claude code, but for somebody that doesn't know how to write code, right? And so it's very interesting to see how this is all going to play out, because you got people like Jürgen and myself that will use multiple tools, but you have some people that are like, no, I only use Claude. It gets me. So
I don't only use one, but I have a preference. ChatGPT is my preference, but that's just because I do so much inside of it.
I do too. I do.
It feels like I've got to retrain somebody if I move to a Gemini or if I bop into Claude.
But then I do something dirty, and I'll ask ChatGPT could you write me a prompt for Claude, or could you write me a prompt for GenSmart, or
what does it say
for
to you when
VO3?
you say that?
It says absolutely AI serious. It
Lord.
sounds like a great idea.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Well, Jürgen, we love to play this game on the show at the end. We call it Last Chat, but it's basically just diving into whichever one of your AI tools you want to dive into and then sharing what that prompt was. Give a little context if you want. Greg and I will both share ours as well, but it keeps it fun because honestly, I have no idea what I last chatted with my ChatGPT about.
Ridiculous.
Mine are always ridiculous.
Oh, I know what I did. It was just a few minutes ago.
It's been a while since we recorded, so I forgot about this pizza. Let me I can go first, but
Please do. Go ahead.
so my oldest, she's in 3rd grade, and she's bilingual, and speaks Spanish and English. And so I've been helping her with her math and science for the last couple of weeks. And then this week, her Spanish, she has all of her math stuff and word problems, but they're in Spanish, right? So now I got to learn words and phrases that I don't know. And she's just like giving me shit the whole time about like, no, this means that, right? So finally what I did was I used ChatGPT and I just took a picture of her, all of her questions. And then I asked it, I said, could you just translate all of these questions for me? And then, give it to me in like a 5th grade kind of way. And then she was like, why do you keep looking at your phone? It was like, don't worry about why I'm looking at my phone. Because I'm trying to keep up with her in her Spanish. And so I took a picture of it and I said, what are the 2 questions at the bottom for predictions? What do they say in English? And then it was giving me this and that. And I said, and then I was like, well, do the questions basically ask the same question? They were like, kind of, but here's the difference. Because I don't know, I was mixing them up on. So my Spanish is limited. I can have conversation, but when you start getting into math equations and division, I was losing it. So that's what I used ChatGPT for last night.
Well, I've got 2 that I can tell you about that I love, but I have ChatGPT Pro. I pay for the big dog one too, and their image generation has gotten
it's gotten a lot better,
crazy better. And I was just testing that, and so I have a different podcast that I've now had for 4 years. And so I wanted to do like a little post about it, but I didn't have a great pic of me on the mic readily available. So I gave it a full headshot, and I'll show Greg and then I'll show you. But this is what it came back with.
That was pretty damn good.
Yeah. It's a little blurry, but...
Oh, yeah. I just see the green jar. Now it's coming. Oh, very handsome lady.
So I was pretty impressed with that. And then the other thing that I've recently done with it is I run a community for women where we aim to help them climb the corporate ladder. And I created what I call Melinda the Magical Resume Maker. And Melinda is totally created. She takes resumes. She tells you what's working, what's not. But then she also has the ability to pull out the soft language that women tend to use in their resumes, whereas men tend to be more bullish with their language. It helps them identify those words, change the words, and it makes it more KPI driven. And so now all of the women in my community, instead of coming to me saying, hey, help me with this bullet point, or how does my resume look? Because there was like 1 week where I got 3 resume reviews. And while I can do that rather quickly, I was like, this is a repeatable process. And I was like, I should create something.
This is a custom GPT or?
Custom GPT, yes. And so Melinda goes section by section and rewrites it and suggests KPIs that you might not be thinking of. It gives you placeholders. I mean, she's applicant tracking system optimized. Wow. So if you are out there and you don't have that warm-bodied connection for a job and you are just applying on LinkedIn or an actual job site, the words are going to be customized to be more picked up by an applicant tracking system. And she's also...
Is it going to be in white font, like hidden all these words?
No, she doesn't do white font. But I will also tell you is one of the very first intake questions that she asks is, why do you need your resume reviewed right now? Are you preparing to make a move? And so you say like yes or no. And so am I just trying to be market ready? Am I applying for a promotion? Am I moving to a different industry? And then she'll ask you other follow-up questions. If you say, yes, I'm moving to a different industry, it will then know to change some of the words and the jargon.
Context matters. Yep.
And I mean, so far, all of the women who've used it are like, OMG, this makes my life so much better. You know, like I love this. And so those have been my 2 chats.
What you got, Jürgen?
Well, I have a new. Let me pick my personal, my private last ChatGPT conversation. I was invited from a friend yesterday to have a cigar with him. And he offered me one of the whiskeys, and he looked at the bottle and he said, "This is one of yours, huh? Where is it coming from?" Scotland. But where from? You have a few regions in Scotland for the whiskies. And I don't know. I think it's 5 or 6 regions they have. So I had to investigate to explain him, because yesterday he was very inquisitive. And he didn't let me go without a precise answer. So I had to research how many actual regions for whiskey in Scotland they are. It's Highland, Lowland, Campbelltown, Islay, and one I'm still missing. So you see, I can't remember anymore. But I had to present him with a precise answer so that we can locate this whiskey correctly he is going to offer me.
Wow.
I love it. It's great for anything. You know what I mean? So thank you for sharing that. Yeah. And I mean, Jürgen, any last thoughts before we close today?
As I think I mentioned it a few times in these sessions, just let us embrace these new tools and let us discover the world with these tools in a faster and better way.
Oh my gosh. I love it. Well, thank you so much for being here on AI Voice or Victim. It was so awesome to have this global perspective on the show and also talk about the banking industry, because I think that is so fascinating for people. So thank you so much for being here.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for joining us on AI Voice or Victim. If you want to stay competitive in the AI age, start now. Take one insight from today's episode and put it into practice in the next 24 hours. Make sure to follow us, share your thoughts, and subscribe for more actionable AI insights. See you next time.